So part one of our double lesson today was about specific latent heat. This is the amount of energy needed to change 1 kilogram of substance from one state to another without changing the temperature. For cooling, a specific latent heat is the energy released by a change of state. Specific latent heat is different for different materials and for changing between different states. You can work out the energy needed or released in joules when a substance of mass m changes state using this formula. Energy for a change in state equals mass times specific latent heat. If you have to find out a different thing other than the energy, you can use this triangle, cover up the thing that you want. Mass equals energy divided by latent heat. Latent heat equals energy divided by mass. So you can rearrange that easily for whatever need you have. The specific latent heat for changing between a solid and a liquid, melting or freezing, is called the specific latent heat of fusion. The specific latent heat for changing between a liquid and a gas, evaporating, boiling, or condensing, is called the specific latent heat of vaporization. Don't get confused with specific heat capacity, which relates to temperature rise. Specific latent heat is about changes of state where there is no temperature change. Quite a few things that we need to know from this little section. Know that energy is needed for a substance to change state, and this is called latent heat. Know that the latent heat is the amount of energy required to change the state of 1 kilogram of substance with no change in temperature. Know that when a change of state occurs, the energy supplied changes the energy store, the internal energy. Remember, internal energy was the total kinetic and potential energy added together. Be able to use the equation. We did that in class today, but you might still want to practice some. Know that the specific latent heat of fusion is a solid to a liquid change. Know that specific latent heat of vaporization is liquid to vapor, gas. Interpret heating and cooling graphs that include a change of state. These are the graphs that we've been looking at repeatedly with the zigzag on. I can distinguish between specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity is the energy being used to increase the temperature of a substance or decrease the temperature of a substance. The latent heat is where it is changing from one state to another. Test is on Wednesday, so make sure that you are revising these things as soon as you possibly can.